Greetings, YouTube. I read something on the nature of privilege for the second time in the last 48 hours, and this time I was smart enough to actually save the quote so I could refer to it again. And here it is. I can't remember who wrote this originally. It has to do with privilege. You can write it off as political correctness if you wish, but the truth is that privilege always lies with the majority. They're so used to being catered to, they see the lack of catering as an imbalance. They don't see anything wrong with having things set up to suit them, what's everyone all in a fuss about. That's the way it should be, and everyone else should be used to not getting what they want. And I think that really sums up quite well one of the bits of cognitive dissonance that the majority has about when minorities want equal access. They see the minorities as wanting extra rights, but the minorities aren't asking for extra rights. The minorities are asking for the same rights that the majority enjoy. It's just the majority is suddenly struck with the fact that someone else wants what they have. And because this minority wants the same privileges, the same rights they have, they feel that they are losing something if that minority is suddenly in the seat next to them, literally and figuratively. Suddenly, it isn't just theirs. They're being required to share. And if you've been privileged enough and long enough to have a comfortable atmosphere around you, exclusive to your particular social group or gender or sex or sexual orientation or whatever, and suddenly there's someone next to you that wasn't there before, does that somehow downgrade what you yourself enjoyed just a few moments ago? Suddenly, it's not quite as special, is it? Suddenly the view isn't quite as unobstructed. Things don't look quite the same, and because of that, because things don't look quite the same, they feel they have lost something. That it's always been this way, it always should be this way, and if you're asking to change it, if you're rocking the boat, if you're obstructing their view of the universe, then you obviously must be a troublemaker. Why are you doing this? How dare you impinge upon my rights and privileges? And I encounter this myself all the time, particularly when it comes to same-sex marriage. The attitude seems to be, oh, I don't care if there are gay people in the world, so long as I don't have to see them. There's that privilege. So long as I am the only one in view, I don't care what those people do over there. But if suddenly they're here next to me, asking to be treated equally, asking for the fair share, and this is not a fair share of a limited resource. This is a fair share of a limitless resource, equality. But so long as they're asking for that share, somehow the privileged majority feel they are losing something. And so long as someone feels that they are losing something, they will resist change. If you could somehow convince them that they aren't losing anything, and that instead of putting themselves in the position of, oh no, my privileges are being taken away, taking that and turning it around and realizing, no, I can share my privileges. I can make sure that everyone around me has the same view, the same rights, and, of course, the same responsibilities. That part is often downplayed. Just the way people are, I guess. But this quote is wonderful when it comes to talking about privilege. It isn't political correctness. It isn't political correctness when black people want to sit anywhere they want on the bus, or that gay people want their relationships viewed legally the same way that heterosexual relationships are viewed, or when minority religions in America want to make sure that they're not having their rights trampled upon just because they are not the majority. All of these things are very much American, being treated equally and fairly and justly in the eyes of the law. And those that are privileged and feel offended that others have trampled upon their privilege are being divisive, are creating us and them, which of course isn't helping. We all do it. I do it. Doesn't mean I'm proud of it. Doesn't mean I don't fight against it. So, the next time you hear someone make a comment about, it's okay as long as I don't have to see it, remember what they're talking about. They don't want to share the view. They want it for themselves. And that strikes me as just a little bit childish. Very, very selfish.